No. Okay. We're going to do this again. Um,
Uh,
Testing to make sure this is actually working this
Testing one, two,
time.
three.
Three, one, two, three. All right. Hello and welcome to our Lancer Battlegroup one shot. I'm Bashir Gauss, your host, game master, and unfortunate producer. Thank you for joining us this morning, and I hope you enjoy the show. But first, let's introduce our lovely cast. Obi.
Hello, I am Obadiah, and today I will be playing Fenris Lane, taciturn commander of the
Unfortunate
long
producer.
sword battle group, expert in precision, fire direction, and hoping this just gets done quickly.
All right, Anthony.
Hi there, my name is Anthony or Cherbox ABA, he, him, and I will be playing Shamish Beckett, Line Commander of Battlegroup Typhoon. He is a little unorthodox, sometimes a little obsessive, but bold and cares about his people. Looking forward to what appears to be a little strange, but nonetheless routine stamping out of pirates or whatever this fleet appears to be.
All right, ACAT.
Right, so I'm a catalepsy, doing a he/him, and I will be playing Line Commander Salem Solari, a former cosmopolitan and current commander of Battlegroup Temple.
Excellent. And Imran.
My name is Imran, he, him. Today I'll be playing Motokichi, commander of the battle group Sundial. He's also he's very daring, unorthodox, and he's got a little bit of a guilty conscience. I wonder why.
All right. So with that, you have all been deployed to the Azure Core region for the last several months. It's out on the edge of Union space, only reconnected to the rest of humanity in the last century as its blink gate went up, and recently home to a large and decidedly unpleasant war. Things spiraled a bit over here. The corporo state started to step in, and at that point, Union stepped in first, putting an end to hostilities and forcing all sides to the negotiating table to stop this from spreading to the greater galactic community. Most took it fairly well. However, a couple of fleets and states in the region took it less well and scattered to the winds. For the last few months, your job has been roundup, basically, going out there, finding these isolated warships, making sure they don't go pirate, escorting them back in to rejoin their states as the peace talks continue. It's been quiet work for the most part. Half the people you run into are just unaware that the war has been ended, as they were picking it out in deep space and governed by the cruel laws of light speed communication and no one quite knowing where they are. Today, however, you have something that proves to be less cooperative than your previous encounters. Sensors have picked up a full fleet of hostiles, or a full fleet of warships that have turned and are accelerating towards you, still a few hours out from any sort of reasonable communication or targeting distance. More worryingly, they've identified the warship at the lead of this fleet, the Auspice, flagship of the Durnus sovereign state, one of the one of the more belligerent factions in the recently ended war, who had purposefully ordered their fleet scattered to the winds when the Union intervened. What little combat you've had on this deployment has mostly been against Durnus formations. It's escorted by several other flagships, though, to be frank, your intelligence doesn't have a good read on them quite yet. But you've some time before things truly go to hell. Um, who would? Let's see. Let's go to Commander Salem's the bridge on the flagship, as news comes in that the Auspice is headed for you, that you are at most hours away from making contact with its captain. Salem, what does the bridge look like aboard your flagship?
So the bridge of the Rachel Carson is spherical. There's basically people looking in every direction. At the center, there's a pole that you can grab onto to reorient yourself. And most of the time, when there's not an emergency mode and there's not like crash couches deployed, Salem can be found floating there. And when the news comes in, he'll ask Raquel, the ship's NHP, to display what they know about the incoming fleet.
All right, so the NHB flickers to life and shows you the image of the image of the Auspice, a massive all guns battleship, larger than anything in your fleet, overbuilt by half, with a pair of spinal cannons, a massive railgun, and a enormous particle projector, a demisolar lance. Its admiral is Admiral Milliard Steele, who has a reputation for being an honorable admiral, though information was scarce before the Union dropped in and everyone kind of scattered to the winds ahead of them. Let's see. Do you want to, actually, yeah, let's do an uptime action here. So, in Battlegroup, before you enter combat, you have a chance for uptime action. This is things like consulting with members of your crew, and, these are things like consulting with members of your crew, figuring out what your plan is, or tuning gunnery, etc. You get to choose something that may give you a bonus going into the fight. What is Salem Solari going to be trying to do on the approach?
So I wanna just get one thing sort of up front, which is you don't have to choose to do an uptime action, and one thing you can choose to do instead is to set a fleet posture, which sort of automatically sets your starting position. Salem is going to be both plotting a course and taking an uptime action, but that means that the starting position of Battlegroup Temple is going to be a little bit more chaotic. So we'll see how that goes. But I think what Salem is going to be doing here is consulting navigation and intelligence, using sort of, talking to the intelligence section, calling not only his fleet but also the others, and also civilian contacts among the diasporan states about what is going on here. Like this is unusual. So you would see him say to Raquel, well, looks like we're in for a scrap. Assemble the Legion space construct, and put me in touch with Groundside. I'll take it in my quarters, and go to do that.
As you wish, Commander. And Raquel kind of dissipates into the Legion space as it begins to assemble your electronic defenses and countermeasures and tools, and bring you online with and opens up a channel over the Omninet with the rest of your crew. So you're plotting a course, and you are
consulting Navent.
Consulting Navent. All right. Which of those do you want to roll for first?
Let's do Navent. And the way I'm kind of envisioning this is that Salem's kind of been around a lot as cosmopolitan. Predates, like almost predates the formation of Third Committee himself. And so has all kinds of odd contacts and random people he knows. He's going to use that to try and figure out if there's some other angle here, or someone else who maybe has an observatory who's been tracking these guys. So I'm going to roll that.
All right.
And that's going to be
absolutely.
no. You got an 8 on that.
Yeah, so no luck on Navent.
Yeah.
you don't manage to get a useful response in. People are sending you what they can, but there just isn't much on these guys in the greater galaxy. And what is here is genuinely confused. They don't know why the auspice would be coming for you like this. Presumably they intend to engage, but their plan beyond that is just kind of beyond what you can get from, or more useful information beyond that is kind of beyond Navin, just because of how much of a mess it is here. Things are in this situation and how confused it is. So you get that bank difficulty die, but let's see.
I do get one question.
And you get one question.
One question, which is, I think I don't. So if I'd had more questions, I think I would have asked something about like what might be able to get them to surrender. But since I don't have that, I think it's just, are there any additional reinforcements incoming besides the ships that I can see? Anyone else who can jump into the fight?
Let's see. So there are two elements that NavInt thinks could might be relevant here. They're behind a nearby moon. There are a pair of unidentified contacts. NavInt thinks those are likely destroyers of some sort, maybe war dogs or stalwarts, that could jump in mid-fight. And lagging behind the presumed hostile fleet is what appears to be a stripped-down carrier. It's a large ship, but it looks to have, it's popped its radiators, its engines running on low power, etc. Either it's damaged or it's trying to signal that it's not hostile.
Alright. Good to know.
So you've got those two. One of them's probably not going to be a factor in the fight. Or the carrier's probably not going to be a factor in the fight.
Alright.
And then plotting a course.
Yeah, can I wait and see how everyone else does before I decide whether or not to risk that?
Absolutely. Let's go to Anthony. How is the commander, how is the commander doing in the lead up, and what is Commander Beckett trying to do with uptime on the way in? You can set a posture, or you can pick an uptime.
I'm gonna pick an uptime action just to quickly do some narrative stuff. The Telegraph, which is the flagship for Battlegroup Typhoon, is a Karakin. It's one of the latest of the federal Karakin shipyards flagship battleships. So this is state of the art. They have a lot of new and additional fancy amenities. This commander isn't necessarily too fancy. He's sort of a little bit more stern and bootstrap kind of commander. So the bridge has cameras that allow them to see around their ship, and like of course all the NASTR navigational. But everything is pointed towards doors and openings, so no one is surprised by boarders. No one is taken by surprise by attackers. Seamus, despite whatever additional security might exist in forms of technology, always wants his soldiers to be prepared for any kind of betrayal. Always look facing towards doors, you know. And so when the auspice and the belligerent powers come up, Seamus just sort of he's sort of standing in zero gravity, so he's kind of floating slightly. Well, it's a fight they want. It's a fight they'll get. Contacts the gunnery chief. Castellan, ready to spirit it. And I'm going to consult. I believe it's called.
Consult gunnery and engineering.
Yes, because I want payloads ready. I want all the missiles. Because I'm all about missiles, baby.
All right. So roll your action.
Is it with a
Aye, sir, calls Gunnery Chief Kilhua as they start trying to get all of your torpedoes ready to go.
You may as well get the twins ready too. The D20 with a D6, right?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Oh, hold on. Sorry. There you go. All right. No, I want not too bad. That's a 13.
Yeah, 13.
13.
That's success. You have a banked reroll. Your gunnery or engineering team show measurable improvement. So once during the upcoming battle, you may reroll one of your attack or damage rolls. Yeah, so the gunnery chief has spotted a few issues with targeting that he's managed to fix on the way in. So you're going to be well served by that in the coming hours. Next, Obi. So you're closing in. What is Commander Fenris's bridge like, and what uptime action would you like to take? You're mute.
I forget. Commander Fenris's bridge is a simple affair, as many such things are, particularly with the good old reliable that is the Mori class sits battleship. Uh, he sits in a position of prominence, dead center of the bridge, from which he seems a bit like a distant imperial arbiter, and as the fleet approaches, as the battle group maneuvers into expected pre-planned positions, he frowns, pulls out. It looks like he is checking a calculator before leaning down and call up engineering. I want to recalculate the power cycle. I think
All
we can
right.
need these guns.
Excellent. So you call up engineering and go ahead and roll your action. It's a d20 plus a d6 if you have a relevant trait, which you likely will.
It's got to be a consult gunnery, and I don't. Correct me if you disagree, but I don't think courageous or steadfast would be excessively relevant here.
Yeah, I can see that they wouldn't necessarily apply here.
So let's just throw it raw. I'll take a 14.
Nice. So yeah, you also get a banked reroll. You get in. You manage. You order your chiefs to do another check. One of your engineering chiefs, local recruit from Azure Core, manages to optimize your energy circuits or your energy loop a bit, and you have your reroll as you prepare to enter combat here. And Imran, let's describe Motokichi's bridge, and what are you doing with your uptime action, where you can set posture or come in as you prefer.
So I think the bridge is kind of it's a bit of a mess. The Louis 14 dreadnought that Kichi commands has been kind of experimented on. One, it's been one of those things that the I think the think tank and naval engineering has always been trying to like improve it and change it up, but he himself would like to tinker with it. So there's like panels that are off the walls, like he's rewiring certain things himself. But for his uptime action, I think I had it. I think I'd like to do the action power at cost.
All right, let's see. What in specific are you trying to get? So you don't roll for this one, but you will have some sort of penalty depending on what it is you're trying to get access to.
I think he's just trying to like clear the bridge for a moment so he could do some kind of like hacking through his like rewire certain things that may like if how do I say this? Like he's trying to rewire just I guess like rerouting power supply to one of his weapons, maybe. Like
Okay, so you could treat this. So we could treat this kind of like you'd get the uncommon fortune reserve, where you get a banked accuracy die and a banked difficulty die, as your bonus, and your penalty will be, let's see, it's going to have, it's going to cause like ship malfunctions later on after you use it, as your rewiring starts to have unfortunate side effects. So there may be, I'll basically have a difficulty die to throw at you at some point in the fight.
Okay, seems fair. So I've banked a accuracy die, and what was the other one?
A difficulty die.
Cool.
All right. So, with that you start sliding in. Your ship starts sliding into position, inexorably entering the gyre against this enemy fleet. Before you enter weapons range, however, you all receive a hail from the auspice itself. As the screens flicker on, and as he opens the call with all of you, you see Admiral Millard Steele. He's an older man, maybe 50 or 60 in normal terms, and because of the technology of the Union and the nature of diasporan states, he could be up to a few centuries old as far as you can tell. He wears a pristine uniform. One moment, let me just mute that. I'm not sure if that was audible, but it was annoying if it was. He wears a pristine military uniform, pressed, his medals on display. It looks more like a dress or ceremonial uniform than it does a combat one. He's definitely putting on a show on some level. He stands at attention, respectfully. Commanders, it is a pleasure to meet all of you. There's no chance I could convince you all to surrender peacefully before this gets unpleasant, is there? You'll be treated well, and when the war restarts, I'm sure we'll have somewhere safe and comfortable for you all to ride it out.
Yeah, there's a immediate sort of response. Just the war is over, Steele. Negotiations are underway. We can escort you back to your homeworld to face whatever it is your people decide to grant you.
My dear commander, the war isn't over as long as there are people willing to fight it. Whether or not I make it through this, there will be a war in 5 years or 10 years or whenever the Union slips up and stops paying attention. And I think it's certainly in my best interests as a patriotic citizen to ensure the time is now, when everyone else is perhaps not everyone else has quite happily defanged themselves in your presence.
There will be a response from Typhoon. That's a shame. Commander Steele. There's one thing I've learned in my many years. What determines goodness in a man is knowing when to keep his sword out and when to put his sword away. And it seems in your years, you have not learned that either.
On the contrary, I am quite certain which of those times this is. But this isn't your fight. You don't have too much to gain here. I'm sure the Union doesn't want this to spiral, but If you limit yourselves to that and allow us on our way, none of us have to die here today.
No one has to die when you surrender. No one will survive if you insist on resisting.
So let
Yeah, like it's a little much.
I appreciate the thought, Commander, but I think my odds are better than you give me credit for, and if nothing else, I remain loyal to my people. If there is truly no way for me to convince you to stand down, I suppose this will have to do. Let's see. Yeah, you can have a moment to discuss tactics before you
Yeah.
enter.
So I think, well, I would think, the Legion space construct would, assemble. Everyone would, appear in the Raquel, I think, would be, presenting sort of broad operations plans. Commander Solari would report. They have additional forces waiting behind the moon. Escort class, I believe. No additional capital ships. The question then is whether to engage the flagship and destroy it first, perhaps in the hope that its fellows will think better and surrender, or to systematically dismantle the fleet and then move in close, where the Auspice's main guns will be ineffectual.
Aye, that's a good plan. They don't have a command structure, save for the Auspice. Steel's the only one keeping them bundled up together. I say I'd go for it.
Closing is dangerous. My fleet is not optimized for knife fights, and if nothing else, I think this commander has prepared his men, at least, for a knife fight.
Yeah. So I think. So I'm sure that the plan, the specific planning would continue. I just want to get a sense of: are we in fact planning to wipe out the Auspice first, or are we going to try and dismantle the fleet and then go for the Auspice? I'm happy either way. I guess leaning slightly towards dismantling the fleet, but either way works as long as we're clear on what our main goal is here.
I think at the very least, one of us. I know my fleet battle group intends to get in close proximity. So the Typhoon can engage the Auspice with boarding. With the frigates, provide the frigates survive all head full. So I can just kind of go in and see if we can make both of it work. Just provide enough support for our long range battle groups.
All right.
Then in that case, it sounds like we're essentially going to be as far as external guns goes, we're going to be focusing on the fleet.
Yeah. Okay. So in that case, so Solari will then say the most dangerous close range combatant in that fight is the Corsair. We can try, if we're going to go for it. I would want to damage it and destroy those cruiser escorts as soon as possible. My fleet can engage both the Corsair and the escorts. There's a ship there with a weak signature. My guns cannot get a lock. I will be requiring torpedo support.
We shall have them.
Thank you, Commander. If that will be all, we'll execute operational plan Orion. proceed to our stations.
All right. So you all proceed to stations, and with the conversation with the admiral finished, you slide into the gyre. Everyone, place your fleets at range 4 on the gyre.
Okay.
So, for those of
Range
you,
5.
if anyone in the audience hasn't seen Battlegroup before, the Battlegroup combat in Battlegroup takes place on the gyre, a kind of rough representation of the distance between your fleet and the enemy. It goes from extreme range to close range, and as the battle goes on, it will collapse inwards, eventually forcing everyone to either bail out of the fight or enter point-blank range with the enemy fleets, which is extremely dangerous for obvious reasons. Each range band has its own rules in addition to the normal stuff of just what range your weapons can fire to. So, like, different weapons will be better at different ranges, missiles will take longer or shorter to get into position, etc., etc. This one starts at range 4, which is long range. A bunch of your weapons will work, but It doesn't have a huge number of modifiers to it. With that in mind, where did I... Oh, it's over there, isn't it? Yeah, with that in mind, we are entering combat. As you begin to slide into position and enemies come onto scopes properly, you get a good look on the enemy fleet. They have 4 capital ships. A Corsair, which is a close-range brawler that has chassis wings of GMS Everest mechs capable of boarding actions, in addition to a pair of escorts armed with particle beam, Right, those are the brothers in arms. Yeah. In addition to a pair of brother-in-arm escorts armed with short spool spinal cannons. Let's see. There is a Highline specialized at fighting escorts and wings of enemy ships, which is escorted by a pair of... Let me double check here. Which is escorted by a pair of stalwarts, which are basically gun cruisers with optional torpedoes, and a Phantasm, which is a jamming ship, very hard to hit with regular weapons, with a bunch of precision railguns and high-powered lasers, which is escorted by a pair of carriers. Starfield Furies, which carry a bunch of fighters and bombers that can do various things. And of course, there is the Auspice itself, which is a massive all-guns battleship. With that in mind, we enter the logistics phase for our first turn. So, during the logistics phase... everyone removes 1 charge counter from their weapons. If no one's fired payload or reloading stuff, so none of those fire off. If you have systems that activate during the reloading phase, you'll activate them during your turn. Here, you get ready your escorts and wings, etc., and you'll have some abilities that activate here.
I have weapons that activate when I take charge.
Yeah, so who would like to take the first round of the logistics phase? It's PC, NPC alternating order like Lancer. It's just that you do it by phases throughout the round.
I have no logistics phase actions.
Okay, I've got my thing. It should be fairly quick to do. Namely can I find the weapon? It's the Harbinger Confidence lasers on my flagship. I've got two of them. It activates once a round. uh, and each one deals 2 damage to a targetable battleship or to a targetable capital ship or escort within range, and it's range 5-3, which I think
Okay,
covers.
so you are in range. Who are you targeting, and do they need to make attack rolls, or do they just hit automatically?
They just deal damage.
Okay, so what are you targeting?
I'll go ahead and rape that Corsair.
All right, you fire on your lasers, open fire on the Corsair, streaking across the night, and sorry, that's the wrong thing. There it is. So the Corsair takes 2.
And then another 2 from the second battery.
All right.
It's just 2.
Oh,
For
so each battery has a target separately.
for each
or?
instance of the weapon, and I've got 2.
Oh, okay.
That's not how that works.
Oh,
Otherwise, you take 4 and you do just 16 damage.
It's a maximum of 4 damage, and it's each instance of the weapon in the battle group, and I have 2 instances of the weapon.
all right. Let's see. So yeah, you hit. You open fire, lasers raking across the Corsair's hull. It's not a huge amount of damage, but any hits at this range are useful. Remove charge tokens from any of your charged weapons. And let's see. This is double checking. This is the. Oh yeah, so that's how those work. Got it. So yeah, you've done that. Do you have anything else you need to do during the logistics phase?
Nothing but charge tokens.
All right. So remove your charge tokens, and the enemy Man o' War will activate. During the logistics phase, Man o' War launch it open. So the Man o' War, there's the Auspice launches an enormous. It launches an enormous volley of loitering munitions, just a sheet of missiles blanketing space ahead of you. It chooses range 4. So any of you who end your action phase, who end the round in range 4, will take 2d6 damage at the end of
This
the
was
turn.
the high line.
As this is the Man o' War.
Got it.
It has pulse pack missiles.
Got it.
And it removes a charge token from all of its stuff. So let's get this payload right here, and just remind everyone of the threat as these missiles begin to blanket the area, detonating in kind of a wall of explosions at times as they look for targets or run out of fuel. With that, who is next? Who would like to go next?
Question. I have this upgrade where if I assign a frigate to a defensive screen, I can assign it to an ally.
Defensive screen is going to activate later in the turn.
Okay.
So this is just logistics. If you have anything that either has charge tokens or says it activates in the logistics phase, it activates now.
Okay. Come back to me because I had something. Oh, pinpoint Aegis. I think this is for my dreadnought. It says this ship begins each engagement with 5 over shield, gains 5 over shield at the start of each logistics phase.
So yeah, you have 5 over. You gain 5 over shield. So that'll absorb damage before you take it.
Okay.
All right.
Great.
Excellent. So you activate that. You have your shield pops up and is ready to take damage for you. Next is, I think the High Line is the only one. Yes. So the High Line, let's see. a large frigate bristling with point defense systems it rushes forward from the line, firing a spread of just direct of energy weaponry, lasers and plasma casters, uh, blanketing the battlefield. It activates its firewall, choosing range band 3. Any hostile battle group that ends its turn in range band 3 takes 3 area target damage that ignores interdiction. And any escorts or wings that activate in range band 3 take 3 damage. So it's just setting up another wall of flak, basically trying to slow your approach towards the fleet. Does anyone else have anything in the logistics phase they would like to activate? Anthony, ACAT, you said you have nothing in the
Yep.
logistics phase. Anthony, do you have anything in the
I
logistics
don't
phase?
think I do. I might have some things during the impact phase, but we don't have. There's no impact. There's nothing impacting, so I don't think I'll do it.
Got it. Let's see. There we are. So the Phantasm activates. It removes charge from its nuclear laser. And we are on to, I think we just don't have an impact phase this time because nothing important has fired. So we move on to actions. This is the main part of the turn where you do the stuff like where you take actions and open fire with your weapons, etc., etc. Basically, you use a maneuver and a tactic when you activate and resolve all of that stuff pretty much immediately. Who would like to go first? All right, go for it, Anthony.
All right. I think I will go start firing some missiles. I will have to. There's a couple things I'll probably do here. Someone. I would love if someone could use their battle space CIC. Help move this, propel this forward. I'm firing a spear tip torpedo. So that is just a full maneuver for, I believe it's just opening fire here. Sorry. Yeah, so it's open fire. And that's my maneuver. So just one giant spear tip anti-capital torpedo aimed towards the Corsair. It still works at range 4. It's -1, but with payload, so it'd be 4 counters. 5. I'm using a tactic for impact assurance targeting. Once per turn, I may choose to either remove 1 flight counter from one of my active payload attacks, or during the impact phase, consume a lock-on. I'm choosing the first one. So it's back down to 4. And if someone did, oh, sorry, I thought someone was doing something.
It should be down to 2.
Oh.
-1 goes the other direction.
Yeah,
Oh.
-1 reduces the number of payloads.
That's
Makes it fire more
fantastic.
quickly.
Oh, that's great. -1 makes me. Okay, so that's 2. So if someone gets it down another 1, that's almost instantaneous impact.
And you wanted someone to assign or use the battle space CIC.
Yeah, so yeah, it would go down from 2 to 1, and then literally turn 2, it would impact and destroy that Corsair.
Yep.
Yeah, that'll be on your turn. Battle space CIC will be on your turn.
Got it.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
What is it targeting?
The Corsair. I thought we were agreed. Unless we want
Corsair is good. Corsair is good.
Okay, cool.
Corsair is perfect.
All right. So you fire these massive torpedoes off towards the Corsair, your crew's doing everything they can to ensure they impact as quickly as possible. Do you get a second weapon fire off of the thing?
No.
Okay.
Well, does have a tactic though.
Yeah, I actually I can send my payload Outrider escort to accompany it, basically protecting it from if people enemies adding any payload to it, and also forces anything. What's the word? So basically, here's what my payload outrider escort does. No one can add more payload counters to it, and also it adds +1 damage to the attack during impact phase for each flight counter removed from it before impact. So if that battle space CIC activates, it'll do another additional 2 damage on top of the 25.
All right.
And then it does force the target. May also force the target battle group to re-roll 1 interdiction die of my choice and take the worst result. If someone's trying to affect it with abilities or attacks or anything, So it's protecting the missile.
All right. Let's see. Is there anything else you're doing with your turn, or is that?
That's maneuver and tactic, right? So I think
No.
it's just. I think it's just Beckett saying.
You still have a tactic.
No,
Payload outrider is not a tactic. It's just a thing that happens.
No, impact insurance targeting was my tactic. No, wait, that's trait. No, okay.
That's
cool.
not a tactic either. You still have a
Yeah.
tactic.
No, I'm still learning.
Yeah. So you picked open fire, so you get 2 primary attacks. You've done or 1 super heavy or 2 primary. I'm assuming the payload is a super heavy.
Yes.
Yes. Payload's super heavy.
Okay.
And I think the next thing I'll do is I'll do defensive screen. Yeah. So Beckett's like full spread on the Corsair, and I want a defensive screen now. And so the Chung will probably move forward with a defensive screen on the telegraph. So that's it.
All right. So your frigate moves forward, placing itself between you and the foe. With that, the next enemy activates. The Auspice will. Let's see. Yeah, so the Auspice opens fire with its main battery of guns. It is using its counter battery fire ability, and it is going to target. It is going to target the Rachel Carson.
Lovely.
Indeed. Let's see. Roll.
That's.
Why did it roll 2?
I don't know.
I need to clear this manually before I roll. Okay.
I like that. I like that next roll. I like that one better.
Does an 8 hit?
No.
I'm assuming no.
No.
No. So yeah, it fires a massive battery of direct guns. This has reliable 2, so it does 2 damage anyways. But you don't get the penalty for being hit, which is important. Yeah, it starts to train its guns on you, but at this range, it doesn't have a great firing solution. And you avoid the worst of the damage as it peppers you with fire. At the end of your turn, Anthony, you stayed in range 4 and didn't advance, so you get hit by the pulse pack missiles. Let me clear that. Add 2d6.
Green that or no?
So
you roll interdiction first.
Yeah, you roll interdiction to reduce this damage. So you have 7 incoming damage, and you can interdict it. So it's reduced to 2. So every ship in your battle group takes 2 damage.
Also, your frigate screen, I believe, can protect the ship.
Oh yeah. So yeah, roll a d2, and on a 1, your frigate screen intercepts it. So the frigate takes 4 instead of the ship that was screened taking any.
That's a 1.
Yeah, so your frigate takes 4, and the screened ship takes 0.
My thanks to the Chun.
All right. Yeah, explosions rock open space, but with your frigate in the way intercepting hits, you get through the worst of it without too much damage. Who would like to take the next PC turn?
I am trying very hard to not take my turn until the Corsair does.
All
But
right.
I do remember somebody mentioning they wanted to get some out of turn movement. Yeah.
Yeah, if someone if someone with a Legion Space Schism could go, that would be good. That'd be excellent.
I've got
I
that
appreciate
thing. I've got that thing. I might as well. Let me go ahead and you can use a tactic and a maneuver, and you don't have to do them in. You can do them in either order. Yeah. Fantastic. In that case, I'm going to go ahead and use careful shot as a tactic, so I can fire this Legion Space Schism off, targeting still the Corsair. It's an accurate weapon. I think that'll probably work out. That's a 20. You'll have to see it. It doesn't. I don't think it has any critical effects.
So careful shot means you can't do critical hits, even if it does, even if it did.
Fantastic.
Yeah, why are you carefully shooting?
Why are you doing careful shot, by the way?
All that does is make sure it doesn't overkill something.
Yeah, lock firing solution might be useful, or if you don't have anything else you particularly want to do. But careful shot is purely downside to avoid like blowing up someone excessively.
If I can still get that shot off, then yeah, I'll just go with lock firing solution then. And then just not consume the lock on. Because
All right. Which maneuver are you using?
Are you sure maybe you don't want to use like an emergency maneuvers to not take the area damage?
That's the maneuver was going to be saved for retrograde to back up. Because I don't want to be in range 4. That's not my fun. That's not my comfort zone.
So retrograde burn, you don't get to shoot if you're doing retrograde burn, as I understand it.
Yeah.
The ones that let you shoot say so. So you could do emergency maneuvers to fall back to range 5 out of the high explosive area, and then open fire, and you can fire with 2 primaries.
Oh, okay. So I'll need to. Why need to do that thing? Okay. In that case, yeah, it'll be emergency maneuvers and then open fire.
All right. So you got the Legion.
Open fire and then emergency maneuvers. So I can actually reach the Legion Space Schism.
Makes sense. Yeah. So Legion Space Schism fires. It hits. What does it do on?
First, it does 3 damage, and then in allied battle group may advance 1 range band or ignore all hostile effects that would force it to move until the end of its next turn.
Hey, can I have that second one, please?
Got it.
Okay. Done.
Okay. I'm trying very hard not to get dragged into range 2 while the Starfield Furies are still alive. Or more specifically, while both the Corsair and the Starfield Furies are still alive. That'll do like 46 damage to me. I don't want that.
Yeah, that makes sense. Obi, you get a second gunshot because you used open fire. What would you like to fire?
Okay, I believe I can use other guns in the battle group. Yes.
Yep.
In that case, I will go ahead and see. Can I? Yes, I'll range a shot out with the Vega pattern targeting laser.
Okay. What does that do?
On hit, it'll lock on the target. I'll keep firing that. I'll keep focusing fire on that Corsair. It has no inherent accuracy. I do have a trait. Is it a trait? No, it's what am I looking at? Paragon.
So traits don't affect it don't affect rolls in
Oh,
combat. Unless it
No, he's
specifically
talking
says
about the
otherwise.
battleship trait.
Oh, battleship
flagship
trait.
trait. Bada bing.
Got it.
Demure.
Paragon. Once per round, you may add +1 action to any roll. Could I use that?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yes.
Go for it. That hits. That crits if you have
If
critical effect.
only it did. Instead, it is just extremely locked on.
Yeah.
All right. So how much damage does it do?
2.
And also reliable
Two.
too.
Oh, okay, so we'll always
That
do 2 damage.
Also,
It's
extremely
miss.
2. Extremely 2.
It will do 2 damage, or it will do 2 damage. And you have a lock-on the Corsair. Corsair is taking a beating. You have hammered into it quite a bit, and it's there's plating beginning to peel off of it, but it's still in the fight.
And I've got
It
my
is-
bounce back.
And then you bounce back, so pull yourself to range 5. There we go. And that is the end of your turn?
Yes, that tactic maneuver. That's the thing.
All right. So the Corsair is going to activate. It is going to use its Legion Space Siren, and it is going to advance. Imran, it is going to advance you 1 space forward. So pull your flagship to range 3, and let's see. And then you have to choose. Either you cannot benefit from actions or effects that would move you back any number of range bands, so you either have to advance closer to the enemy fleet, or stay in position where you're going to take 3 damage to a bunch of stuff, or a capital ship in your group chosen by the Corsair will take 1d6 damage. Your choice on which. You're mute. Imran, you're mute.
I think the first choice, so I can't move back a range. I think I'll go with.
All right. All right. So you cannot move backwards. You've been pulled forward towards it. But at range 3, let's see. Oh, it gets a maneuver for its brothers in arms. It is the one that has the brother. Let me double check.
Yep.
Yeah, it's the one that has the brothers in arms. They can't actually do anything yet, so instead it will spend a tactic to let's see, have its marauders deal. So it scrambles 2 of its chassis wings, and let's see. Which does it want to do? It is going to send during the boarding phase. Okay, that would be during the boarding phase. It's going to have its.
Yep. They just get assigned as borders, and then during the boarding phase, stuff happens.
Yeah, so they get assigned as borders, and yeah, both of its chassis wing. It scrambles 2 chassis wings and assigns both of them as borders. All right. So that is the end of the Corsair's turn. Who would like to take the next turn?
I could go now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to step 1, tactic in the destroyer, to advance one range band, to 3.
All right.
And then open fire. I am targeting each. I'm gonna fire 1 is going to be on the stalwart. Hang on a second. Let me clear this. This interface is not amazing. Fire 1 primary kinetic battery on the stalwart with the destroyer providing auxiliary weapon fire.
All right.
So I'm going to roll. That's going to be a it's gonna be 5 damage plus 1 for the plus 2 for the destroyer.
Mm-hmm.
And Let's see. You know, I'm just gonna take the second one and plonk that same one um for chip damage and that should kill it, right?
So you moved into range 3. So you take the 3 area damage from the Highlines payload munitions.
Yep.
And you activated one of your escorts as well.
But not while I was in range. I
Got it.
activated it while I was in range 4 to move me to range 3. And that that should delete one of the brothers in arms, right?
Yeah, if you let's see. Yeah, you did 10 total damage to it, right?
Sorry.
11.
I didn't bother rolling the second one because the reliable damage should be enough to destroy it.
Yeah. So yeah, you delete one of the brothers in arms, you open fire, and in the night, this aged cruiser buckles you an impact over penetrates through it, and its reactor goes dark. That is definitely a mission kill. One of those stalwarts is down.
Yep.
And is that the end of your turn?
That is the end of my turn.
All right. Let's see. Stalwart is down here. No, yeah, there. All right. Yep. It takes 10. Resets up. But there's only one of them now. The Phantasm is the only enemy that has not yet activated. So it is going to range 4 to 2. You're at range 3. Yeah, it's going to pop its high precision railgun and have the stalwarts open fire. So they put a payload out aimed at a catalepsy's battle. They put a payload out aimed at the Rachel Carson. What happened to my mouse? There it is. I was very worried for a moment that my mouse had disappeared.
That's the stalwarts.
Payload out. Yeah, payload out from the stalwarts, and the main ship itself is opening. The Phantasm itself is opening fire with its high precision railgun. Again against the Rachel Carson.
You really don't like me, do you? All right.
Let's see. Oh, and it gets a D6 on this.
All right. High precision railgun.
So rolling the D6 to add to it, it makes it a critical.
I would like to. Okay. Never mind.
Oh yeah, what would you like to do?
I was gonna say I like to add a difficulty die to it to not.
So yeah, you add a difficulty die to it. It cancels out the accuracy. It is not a critical hit. You take 5 damage, but no one is in position to be pushed back.
Okay.
Yeah. So you're fine there. And then it is going to lock on to Motokichi's flagship. So Imran, your flagship has been locked onto. And now I believe Imran, you're the only, or have you gone?
No, I haven't gone yet. So I guess I'll reach out to Seamus and ask if he still needs the a defensive screen.
Or I think he needed the battle space CIC.
Yeah, the battle space at CIC. We want that Corsair to.
We need that to be dead this turn.
Yeah.
Okay, so forgive me. I'm not sure. I have it. I mean, I can use that action. I just don't know if I need to roll anything or.
Nope.
Tactic. So you can just say, "I spend my tactic this turn to do this."
This is the tactic. Okay.
This is a tactic. It's a tactic.
Okay, yeah. Then I will do that.
All right. So you battle space CIC. We resolve that. Just make Anthony make sure the token's off, and then what are you doing for your maneuver?
So you said I was locked on.
Yeah, you're locked onto, and you cannot move backwards. If you end your turn in at range 4, you're going to take some damage that you can interdict. If you end your turn at range 3, you're going to take some damage that you can't interdict, but it'll be a lot less. And yeah, you can. And basically your maneuver options. You cannot burn retro because because of the siren. So you can either let me double check. Where is it? So you can go all ahead full, so you advance and you fire a primary weapon, or you can open fire. You stay where you are and you fire 2 primaries or a super heavy.
And so my weapon, it says it needs a charge. So
Charge happens in the logistics
Okay.
phase, so you just remove 1 charge token at each logistics phase.
got it. So
until it can fire.
I wouldn't be able to use that weapon now.
Mm-hmm. Do you have any other weapons like on your escorts or anything? You have a few. Like
You
you have
have
wings
primary.
and escorts,
You have
I
primary
thought.
kinetic batteries.
I do. Yes. So I guess I'll
You could also
fire that. Go ahead.
You could also, if you wanted to, launch the pipe cleaners at the hospice. That might be a good plan here.
The pipe cleaners.
You have pipe cleaner subalterns on your Farragut.
Oh, that's right.
Those are pretty good at making that thing not kill us. And
Yes. Okay. I guess I'll just do that then. I'll send the pipe cleaners towards the hospice, which I don't. Do I see where that is on the on this gyre?
so it's the one on the one on the far right.
Yeah, the Auspice is the Man o' War on the Gyre, which is
Got
the
it.
one on the far right that doesn't have any escorts.
Okay. Yeah, I'll do that. Fire the pipe cleaner.
But pipe cleaners are very good against things with charge weapons, which that thing has way too many of.
Indeed.
So
All right. So you're firing the pipe cleaners against the Auspice, and you're firing your primary kinetics. What do you want to fire your primary kinetics at?
No, those 2 tactics.
Oh, that's 2
Because the
tactics.
battle
Okay.
space CIC.
Got it.
yeah,
So yeah, you did 2 tactics. You fired your pipe cleaners. They're going to resolve during boarding, and you've got your battle space CIC up. Now we move to the boarding phase. I think it's just Imran and the Corsair who have boarding space phase stuff to do, since no one else is at range 2 yet. Yep. All right. So, Imran, can you look at the pipe cleaners and tell me what I need to do for the resolution?
sure.
Here?
So when this unit, okay, these fearsome combat subalterns can infiltrate and sabotage areas of a ship that would be hazardous. Whenever a boarded ship fails to repel this unit, the ship takes 2 damage.
It also there's a specific thing when it does the sabotage fire control. You can choose what to do, but pipe cleaners are specialized in sabotage fire control.
This unit succeeds. But this is when it succeeds on a sabotage fire control,
Yep.
right?
Yep, and so that's what you're doing now.
Oh, that's what I'm doing. now.
So what you're doing now is you're choosing which boarding action to take, and the options are assault CIC, sabotage fire control, and cut comms, I believe.
So I'm sorry, but I don't see that on my character sheet.
Yes, that's not it. That's in the basics.
It's in the rule book itself. So you have basically you roll a d20. On a 8+, they successfully do their thing. The pipe cleaners might have a bonus to it.
The pipe cleaners don't have a bonus, but they get a special effect when they sabotage successfully.
Okay. So yeah, on an 8+, they successfully sabotage fire control. So just roll a d20.
Got it. D20.
Ooh, so they
Not good.
don't pull it off yet.
Yeah, I got a 5.
But they don't leave either, so they're just gonna keep doing
But
that.
they don't leave. So they've boarded the Auspice. So you fire a few boarding pods full of combat robots. They board the giant Auspice and start fighting their way towards fire control and infiltrating its various systems. However, it's an enormous ship, and it is
There's a long way to go.
clearly well staffed with expert Marines and veteran soldiers. So they are having some trouble making progress here. With that, we move to the Corsair's boarding phase. The Corsair is going to have, let's see. They are going to target, they're going to target Motokichi's flagship, and they are going to deploy targeting beacons, or at least attempt to. So, roll a d6.
D6?
Or d20. Whoops. Good thing I caught. Thank you for catching that. So one is trying to deploy targeting beacons on Motokichi, and the other is going to deploy targeting beacons on Salem. So on both of your flagships. So on Motokichi 2, they do not. You manage to. Your escorts move in and manage to fend off this wave of Everests that came in and attempted to board you. And Salem 18. In a swift strike, a group of GMS Everests swing in, fighting off some of your escorts, slamming targeting beacons onto the hull of your ship, and then retreating.
They'll also stay until
Oh, okay. Or let's see. Oh, okay. Yeah, they board a hostile capital ship.
Yep.
And that they just have they just have different choices.
Right. They don't have the
Alright.
default choices. They just get like different specific ones.
Yep. All right. So you're board. So the both of you are boarded, and with that, we are back up to the logistics phase. I believe it's just Shin and Imran who have logistics phase stuff to. Oh yeah, Anthony, you do too now. Who would like to go first on the logistics phase?
I can go if that's okay. I just want to know what people are going to do with. All right, cool. So my flight counter for the spear tip goes to 0. I activate. Let's see. I believe I have 3 messenger lead lasers. 2 on my self-contained kill vehicles, which are these giant missiles that are technically escorts. On my flagship, I call them this. Kilowatt Castellan calls them the Disaster Twins. The Disaster Twins, along with, I believe it's either the Burnside or the Chung. I think it's the Chung that has it. Yeah, the Chung has messenger lead laser as well. Oh, I thought because it says it said whenever your Battlegroup is within this weapons range during the logistics phase.
Yep.
Yep.
That's why I was mentioning it now. Cool. Just adding additional 3 damage plus the 2 from
Nice.
Yeah, the flight counter is being removed from stuff. Yeah. Sorry guys. Thank you.
Okay, so just track what the total damage of that payload is now, so we know how big it's getting. And so you've got that going down. We're gonna go back to the Man-O-War. The Man-O-War continues removing charge counters from its big guns, and removes 1 reload counter from its pulse pack missiles. And then Obi, you've got some logistics phase stuff, correct? You're muted again.
My big guns count down 1 more, and the confidence lasers fire off. Is that Corsair still up?
Don't bother
Corsair...
shooting it. Don't bother shooting it.
Yeah, it's about to take a pretty big payload hit. I don't know how much total damage that is, but it's a super heavy. I don't think
it's going to
Corsair's
take
likely to survive it.
I think it's mathematically impossible for it to survive.
Fantastic. Where would 4 damage be appreciated then?
Brothers in Arms, the Stalwarts, or the Furies. Possibly the Stalwarts. Stalwarts or Brothers in Arms is what I'd say.
Let's see if we can't knock off those Brothers in Arms.
Yeah.
So 4 damage there. Or 2 separate instances of 2.
And I feel pretty bad because if I had been a little bit smarter about it, we could have taken both of them out before they killed us, but it was not smart enough about it. Next time.
No worries.
Dumb choices.
So yeah, you're dealing it to the stalwarts, you said?
The brothers in arms.
Brothers in arms. Cool. So that's here. Here. So it takes 4 damage. So your lasers open up, slicing into the brothers in arms. But they're still alive. Do you have any other logistics phase stuff to do? Your charge. Okay. So mark down charge, and the Corsair and its brothers in arms activate their logistics phase. Short spool spinal guns go down to 0 and are going to fire on the. Let's see. They don't get accuracy natively, so they're gonna fire on the Rachel Carson because you've got the accuracy beacons on you.
I do. Did
Right? They succeeded on one of their rolls. They
that-
succeeded on the roll versus you, and they failed on the other one.
was that against the Rachel Carson? I thought that was the like, was it?
All right, it was against your flagship.
Okay.
Sounds
A little
yeah,
confused. I was a little confused how that happened because I wasn't in range when the Corsair was activated.
Oh, did I mess that up? Let's see.
Because I remember I went after the Corsairs.
Oh, yeah, the range 3-0. That's my bad. Yeah, that's my bad. I did the range incorrectly. So that should have been probably the temple that, or yeah.
Trying very hard
So
not
they're
to let
going
that
to
happen.
Yeah, they're going to fire on the temple because they do not have the they don't have another option there. Though that resolves in the impact phase. But both brothers in arms are now ready to fire their charge weapons. Corsair doesn't have any other logistics phase stuff. Let's see. It readies its wings. It'll destroy one of its chassis wings to gain overshield. So a bunch of its chassis screen out in front of it, ready to intercept shots coming in at the Corsair. So the Corsair gains some overshield.
Yeah.
And we'll see if that's enough to save it.
I don't think so, but well, hopefully.
I don't think so either. But it has to make the attempt.
Yep.
And with that, Imran, do you have logistics phase stuff?
Yeah, I was wondering if I could just charge my
Yep. Your remove a charge counter from everything with charge counters. If any of them go to 0, it's ready to go.
Okay. Thanks.
Mm-hmm. All right. And then let's see. That is everything in the logistics phase, I think.
Yes.
Wait, does the Highline? Yeah, Highline's reloading, so it can't do anything. Phantasm doesn't have anything in logistics phase. No one's close enough for the Furies. And Stalwarts don't have anything in logistics phase. So yeah, that's everything in the logistics phase. Impact. So charge weapons fire, payloads hit, all of that stuff. Let me double check to make sure I'm doing this correctly. Impact phase. So yeah, does anyone have a charge weapon that's hit 0 charge counters?
Nope.
All right. So payload weapons that have reached 0 flight counters, which is definitely you. Is definitely Sheamus. Sheamus, how bad is this impact?
So spear tip anti-capital missiles are base damage of 25.
Okay.
+2 from flight counters being removed by the Battlespace CIC. Thank you, Imran. As well as my, I believe it's called impact assurance targeting. Then 3 additional damage from the messenger-led lasers. So that's 30 damage total, if I'm correct.
Yeah. Interdiction removes 1. It had 16 health left with 5 overshield. The missiles hit, they rip into the Corsair, and they blow it apart in a chain reaction that tears it to pieces. Wait, can the Brothers in Arms... No, Brother in Arm interception would not matter. It's only
charge weapons
so
anyway.
Can't even do that. Yep. So yeah, Corsair's dead. The escorts now take a d6 damage.
Going for damn
split
it.
between
Damn
them.
it.
Damn it.
Uh,
there's only one left, right?
these are the brothers in arms. No, you took out a stalwart, which are the
Oh.
ones on the other guy. So there's one group of escorts left. There's the only one escort. They're going to reassign to the Man of War, to the Auspice. As your missile streaks in, blowing through the chassis suits, trying to protect the Corsair, it just broadcast one last time. Just, this is the Valiant signing off, and missile hits, rips it to pieces. Shrapnel tears into the brothers in arms as they scatter and reform around the Auspice. That is an extremely dead capital ship.
Beckett contacts Solari. Corsairs down. Move into the Furies next. Puffs a cigar.
Yep. I'm a little confused because I thought I was targeting the brothers in arms, but okay.
Oh, if you're targeting the brothers in arms, that's fine. I must have misheard you. Let me. So that would mean one brothers in arms is dead and the other's at 3 health left.
That's what I was trying to do. But also, I probably have another torpedo coming at me, so that's fun.
Let's see. The torpedo coming at you is down to 2 flight counters. So that's, the stalwarts are. The stalwarts have to target 2 different ships with their torpedoes. So let's see.
Real quick.
Anthony.
So this might be a question for ACAT as well as you. I have a weapon on the Burnside, the Caspian, the long flight active control. It says I may consume a hostile ship's lock-on at any point during my turn to change the target of any long flight active control missile payload. Could I, on my turn, consume? Because I know someone has a lock-on on one of my allies. Does it mean the lock-on from a hostile ship or on a hostile ship?
I believe it's on a hostile ship?
Because it targets that ship. So like if you consumed the lock-on on a friendly ship, then you send it back at a friendly ship, and please don't do that.
Okay, no, I'm just making because I have a way to help you with that torpedo. Is what I'm saying on my turn during the phase.
Yeah, you have Piper drone or something?
I have I have fire control networking, so I can I have it. I have my turn order in plan. I have something.
Got it.
Mm-hmm. So, with that, I think we have that one surviving brother in arms making its shot against the temple with its short spool spinal gun. It does not have any accuracy to it. So, let's see. Clear, D20, roll. 13. I assume that hits the temple?
13 on the which target?
The temple.
The temple. It's marked as someone's flagship here.
Oh, okay. Like which ship in the battle group?
Drop it.
No, the flagship. It's hitting the main
The flagship,
ship.
12. So I have one thing with 14 and one thing with 12, so like it's relevant.
Okay. So yeah, that hits. That is 6 damage because there's only one of them left.
Okay. I'm sitting at 9 HP, so like I'm gonna try and be defensive here.
All right, and let's see. That's it for impact phase, I think. Did anyone have other charge weapons that are firing off? Next turn.
Next round.
All right.
It begins.
So in that case, we are moving on to actions. Who would like to take the first PC?
If I may, I see Temple flagship, getting hurt pretty bad. So can I do this tactic called? Where is it? I just had it. Projected Black Shield. What that does is an allied battle group of your choice gains +3 D6 interdiction, and a ship of your choice in that battle group gains +4 defense until the end of the next impact phase.
That makes that's so you're taking your turn. That's your tactic.
Yeah.
What is your action going to be?
I appreciate that, by the way.
Yeah, of
Excellent.
course.
Excellent.
Yes.
Mhm.
And my action. So, I think. Can I just? Sorry, I had it. It just this character sheet. The primary kinetic batteries. There's no charge on it, so
Yep.
I'll just shoot it at. Which ship was?
So you get to choose a maneuver when you're doing an action. If you choose open fire, you stay where you are and you fire 2 guns. If you choose all ahead full, you move forward and you fire 1 gun. Which of those do you want to do? Are you a ship that wants to be at range 2, or do you
No,
want to stay at range
I think
3?
I'll stay at range 3. So I'll fire twice with
Alright.
my kinetic batteries. Am I reading that right?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, 2 different primary weapons. So if you have 2 kinetic batteries, you can fire with both of them. If you have 1, you can fire with the kinetic batteries and something else.
I think I only have 1 primary kinetic.
Okay.
I think
You
So
have 2.
what is your other
Yes.
gun that you're gonna?
it says
You have 2.
it says sing.
One on the Dreadnought and one on the Farragut.
Yeah. So you have them on different
Got
ships.
it.
So yeah, you can fire both of those.
Okay.
What are you
Are
targeting?
there still a brothers in arms up?
There's 1 brothers in arms up. However, it has used its charge
Yeah.
gun, so it's not going to be a threat for a bit.
Yeah,
but you can still fire on it with one of them.
the Stalwarts might be a better target here.
Okay.
Okay, I hear that on the comms and I reroute to the Stalwarts.
Stalwarts.
Yeah.
All right.
So roll a D20.
Go ahead and open fire. They are defense 8. Yep. Roll a D20 per gun. Their enemy is defense 8.
All right. Roll the first one. 14.
Hit. Yep. How much damage is it?
I think it's just one. Well, at least it's 1 reliable. But does that mean I can? But 1d6 plus
Yeah, 1 plus 1d6.
So you roll the 1d6 plus
If
1.
1d6 plus 1.
If you somehow get less than 1, you'll still do
1d6
1.
plus whatever the one. Yeah.
Got it. Okay. So add
Even if you
above.
miss, you do the 1.
Understood. Okay, so I'm just gonna roll a d6 plus 1.
Yeah, d6 plus 1.
So 6.
So 6 damage was the first. Nice. Kinetic batteries tear into one of the stalwarts. Cruiser's armor beginning to buckle under the fire.
Good hit. 10. That's also a hit.
Yep. Yep.
10 also hits.
So d6 plus 1, so 2 on the other one.
2 damage. Okay, it's very low, but it isn't dead. Is that the end of your
I
turn?
think so because I'm not moving. So yeah.
All right, let's see. The Man of War will activate. It will use Inexorable Advance, so it gains 5 overshield, and it is going to pull Imran. It is going to pull Motokichi's Battlegroup 1 towards it, so you are pulled into range 2. And then it is going to counter battery fire at who's still within range 4. I need that. I don't know if I zoom in, bad things happen. I can. Oh, the Typhoon. Yes, it is going to fire a counter battery against the Typhoon. That was just difficult to read from the text coloring, which I guess was a mistake I made.
All right.
Let's see. Yeah, as it is giant, it gets the extra maneuver it can use to fire again. A hit for 6 damage on the Typhoon as its main guns unleash hell on your ship, and all of your attacks have +2 difficulty until the end of your next turn.
Which is only a problem for someone who makes attack rolls.
Yes.
Problem for me, lad.
Yeah, and I believe, let's see, the Brothers in Arms cannot do anything yet because they're back to charging. So that's the end of its turn. Who would like to go next?
Anyone got to play hero? Because otherwise, I'm gonna go for a thing.
Actually, come to your defense. Oh, sorry. If you guys want to go ahead, that's fine.
Somebody wanted a lock on distributed. Yeah, I can.
So my plan was going to be to start see if I can't delete some of the Starfield Furies before they mess with Typhoon. So
If you're more confident, you can get that done quick by all means.
I can get at least one of them guaranteed. Maybe I can get at least one of them guaranteed.
Then by all means.
So I'm gonna do that. So step one is going to be step one is actually going to be to screen my flagship. Also repairing it to 2 health. In the process, screening it with the John Henry.
Makes sense.
Which also does that, and then I'm going to open fire, bringing my volley counters up to 2. So we're gonna be ready to do some stuff next round. But step one of that, I'm going to target the Starfield Furies.
Mhm.
Just because I want to see if I can't get rid of one of them. Had a
Alright.
12, so that's that'll be a total of 9 damage. Yeah, because it's two.
Okay. 9 damage.
Yeah, 2 from the. Sorry. 7 damage. 7 damage.
7
Yeah, I
damage.
was miscounting. 7 damage. On that, and then I will be fire. The second gun will be hitting the same target, and it will be. It can do 4 damage reliable. So it's just gonna. I'll roll it, but like it really doesn't matter.
And, yeah.
The primary kinetic battery has 2 reliable, and I'm following up with the auxiliary fire from the destroyer.
Got it.
So that's a total of.
You open fire and rip and smash one of the Starfield Furies. Shells impact its launch bays and take out its engines. Within a volley, it's dead in the water and is unable to launch ships. It looks like most of the ship's systems are still functioning, but it doesn't actually have any guns, so that doesn't mean much to you.
Yeah.
Because it can no longer launch fighters.
Yeah.
And one Starfield Fury is out.
Yeah. We really the problem with Starfield Furies is that range 2 they have nuclear bombers, so we wanted at least one of them dead.
Yeah. With that in mind, the Phantasm is going to activate with its surviving Starfield Fury, since it does now have people conveniently in range. It is going to activate that Starfield Fury. The surviving bomber wing is going to do a nuke run against your frigate, Imra. Or against, let's see. One of your wait. Yeah, against your one of your frigates, Imran. You can pick. So, nuclear option. It deals a d6 plus 1 damage. Only 1 bomber wing remaining. And then the bomber takes 3. Let's see. Roll your interdiction.
For that, the frigate.
Yeah, for the frigate.
Yeah, it's for the whole flagship.
Or for the whole
Yeah,
group.
for the whole
You
group.
roll your battle group.
Okay, so that would be. I'm trying to find it. I think it's just.
Should just be a
D6,
D6.
right? Yeah, it's
Should
just
be a
a
D6.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
1. So you take the frigate takes 2 damage as close contact nukes explode around it, irradiating parts of the outer hull.
Okay.
It wasn't a direct. The bombing run wasn't super successful. Mostly it went wild, and they were forced to abort before they got too close on the launch. So that frigate's damaged, but it wasn't too
Not
bad.
too bad.
Even if interdiction was not.
Yeah. I didn't see
effective
your
as you
roll.
would hope.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, this
Not
is-
bad.
Yeah, it's just 4 damage.
Select.
Used to 3.
Great.
Yeah, this is why we hit the other Starfield Fury first before it did that.
Yeah, it would have been pretty bad
If-
if both of them were alive.
Yeah, that would have been quite. Yeah.
Got it.
And then the Phantasm will lock onto you with signal to noise. It's not locked on to, so it doesn't do any of that. And it cannot fire the high precision railgun. It is still reloading. Yeah, that's it. That's all that it gets to do. Next PC slot.
I can go ahead then, unless Obi wants to.
Do you want? Were you the one who wanted a lock on distributed?
I re-looked at the rules of my thing. I can do a lock on. I have a lock on thing. So.
Okay. In that case, feel free.
So I actually can't do anything about that torpedo. Real quick, did you do 7 damage to all of my ships within Typhoon, Bashir, or was it just my flagship?
With the explosive, it's 7 damage to all. It was 2 damage to all ships from the area attack.
Okay, so
and then, Auspice needs to roll to repair. Forgot to roll to repair repel borders with the Auspice. Let me do that. Just while you're doing your thing.
Okay. I think what I'm gonna do next is all ahead full. Deploy single stage torpedoes. Payload -1. I'm just gonna leave it at 3. Escorted. Hold on. I'm sorry. I'm thinking with science here. All right, cool. Yeah, my escort will keep primary single stage torpedoes towards the Auspice, but I will defensive screen. No. Sorry, hold on. I'm thinking right now.
No worries.
No torpedo. Actually, I'm instead using the Caspian Burnside for. I am so sorry. I don't mean to. Sorry, primary kinetic batteries from the Chung is what I was trying to do.
All right.
My destroyers also get to fire and do damage to alongside firing any primary single weapon target weapon. I'm going for the Furies with both. So automatic. They will do 2 damage to the Fury.
Okay.
Will that be enough? Because I have another thing I'll do.
So one Fury went down already. The other Fury was at full health, so that Fury's going down to 8. What other guns are you putting on that Starfield Fury?
I'm gonna It's okay if I roll to see if my
Yeah, you can do the stuff.
because I still have I have to go through the difficulty.
Are you doing all ahead full, or are you closing, or are you staying where you are?
I'm all ahead fulling and using that for a primary weapon attack.
Got it.
So here's what I'm gonna do. I roll a d20, and then I'm gonna use my accuracy, so it'll just be 1 difficulty die. Would that make sense, or just 3 different dies? 3 different d6s.
Got it.
Oh, I don't. I was asking for clarification.
It would be you roll the d6 however many times, and you take the highest. Is how accuracy works.
Okay. So I roll. This is my d20. It's 11. The highest difficulty is 3, so bring it down to 8. But my accuracy is 5. So
that would be a net of 2 accuracy.
Net of 2 accuracy, so that'd be 13.
Okay.
That deals 1d6 plus 1 to the Furies. So that is so that's 6 damage plus 2. That's 8 full damage.
So 8 total damage, or was the 2 at the beginning of the turn?
8 total damage.
Cool. So you hammer into the Fury. It is battered, but it's still intact enough to launch.
All right, then I am activating my next tactic, which is Destroyer Command. Snap Flight Torpedoes deal 6 damage to hostile escort.
All right, that is enough to finish off the Starfield Furies. Torpedoes slam into it.
Yeah.
It let's see. Kill table. Where's the kill table?
Yeah, that might have. You probably didn't.
That's still mission kill.
Yeah, you probably didn't need to do that, but seems good.
Oh, I thought we wanted to destroy the Fury.
Oh yeah, but I'm saying at the beginning of next turn, Messenger Harbinger lasers could have could have poked it for 2.
Oh, do you want me to just?
Were they that close?
Do you want to put those on a different
Yeah.
escort?
Yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
the-
I'll do that.
The stalwarts or the brothers in arms?
Do you guys want? What do you guys want?
Stalwarts.
Stalwarts then.
Yeah.
Then 6 damage to a stalwart then.
Okay. So you start hammering into the stalwarts. That is. Yeah, that's enough to take out one stalwart. They had been damaged near the end of last turn. Yeah, torpedoes go in. One stalwart detonates. That is enough to. Yeah, torpedo slams into one of the stalwarts and explodes. The superstructure cracks, splitting easily a good third of the ship off. It's venting atmosphere and ammunition. It is very clearly out of this fight, with heavy crew casualties.
Continuing to engage the auspice.
All right. So you start pivoting to engage the auspice. So the Man of War has already activated. The Phantasm has activated. It's just the High Line left. Double checking. Let's see. Range 3 in. Imran's at range 2. Imran, you're at range 2, correct? With Motokichi's flotilla?
Yeah, we're in range 2, collapsing range.
Got it. So it is going to fire its cloud kill batteries at you. And as just a wall of flak opens up. Roll. 14. So, your flagship takes 7 and all of, which of your ships has the most escorts or wings?
The most escorts or wings. I think it's my capital ship.
What's its name?
I'm trying to check. Sorry. The Farragut class carrier has a wing, and then I'm just going through the other ones.
Yeah, it has 2 wings: a mounted chassis and a Legion drone.
Okay, so it's going to hit the Farragut class with this. The Farragut itself takes 7. Each of its wings takes 2 damage.
Okay.
You can also use the Legion drone to soak the extra damage. It would destroy the Legion drone, but it'd save your mounted chassis swing 1 damage if you wanted to.
Yeah, I think I'll order that.
All right.
So
as it hits you with just clouds of kinetic kill vehicles, your Legion drones move themselves into position, shielding your mounted chassis from the worst of the bombardment. Let's see. It is still reloading its firewall. Can't do anything with that. And its surviving stalwart will pop. Let's see. It will fire its forward kinetic batteries into the Farragut, just trying to get some more damage into it. 8. What is your defense?
defense for the Farragut is 13.
Okay, these miss. Batteries fire, but they don't get good hits in. What does land largely bounces off the armor or does superficial damage. That is the end of its
Sorry,
turn.
how much damage did my wings end up taking?
Your Legion drone took 3,
Yeah.
and the chassis took 1. I believe.
Okay.
Yep. The Legion drones take 2 in order to protect 1.
Okay.
So it took.
So the Legion drones take 4, and the chassis took
Yep.
1.
I
Like-
see.
And then the
Legion drones are
Farragut
robots.
itself
We don't care
took
about them.
7. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're just robots.
And yep. Let's see. Stalwarts are badly damaged. Have fired their shot, missed. That is the end of their turn. PC turn. Who hasn't taken the slot and would like to?
I think I'm the last one left. And I'm going to fire off my echopraktic borders now with tactic, and for another, I think I'm going to.
lock on maybe.
Yeah, I think I'm going to lock on, and I think I'm going to lock. Who needs that lock? That's not actually.
And we're probably going to start hammering the auspice starting at the next turns. Your charge counters are done charging, right?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna be I won't need the lock. I won't need the lock on, but I might as well put it on the Man of War anyway.
Okay.
So yeah, I think that's two tactics.
Mm-hmm. Is there any outgoing damage or rolls you need to make, or are you good?
Unless I need to make a roll for that boarding now.
No,
Nope.
So now we move to the or Imran, have you taken a turn this turn?
I think I took a turn at the very start.
I think that's everyone.
Okay, so we are off past the let's see. We are out of the action phase into the boarding phase. Now we resolve borders.
Oh hey, look at that.
Borders on
Imran, Imran, you're the telegraph, right?
I'm the what?
Who has the telegraph?
the
Sorry.
What about
Yeah. Yeah. Remember, you didn't roll to repel borders on your turn.
Oh, was that Borden?
so the
Yeah.
oh yeah, you'd roll a d20 to repel borders at the start of at
End of
the
your turn.
End of each of your turns. That said, the borders on you, their mothership is dead, so they're going to basically just start surrendering now.
Okay.
If I remember how that works.
As I understand it, they stay on until they're repelled.
Oh, okay.
But like,
Got it. So yeah, roll to repel borders.
Do I roll introduction with this or no?
this is just a d20.
No, it's just.
I rolled a 6, so the telegraph has been boarded.
Yeah, they remain on top.
You roll for each one,
let's
though.
Right, Imran, you also need to roll to repel borders. Both of you had one boarding.
Oh, okay.
Come at you.
So I roll a d6 or d20.
D20.
3.
Okay, so you both still have borders on you. We go into the boarding phase. So Obi,
Yes.
you've got first go.
Okay. I am going to be attempting. Inflict ontological parasite.
All
If
right.
it works, If it works,
It's also just a kick-ass name. Like, goddamn.
yeah, you
It is pretty good.
But
Very
I think I'm
kick-ass.
looking for much higher number than that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the thing does not happen.
The thing does not happen.
Did you use
Uh,
your Mori ability this turn?
I haven't. I can do that. I should.
Ooh.
Uh,
yeah, you definitely should.
the D6 maybe. So let me.
No, that's still not.
Still no.
The boarding chassis are going to so the one's going after Seamus first. They're going to plant demolition charges. And they succeed. So, Seamus, if your boarded battle group must use a maneuver to repel borders during its next turn, or it takes 1d6 damage that ignores overshield and cannot be prevented in any way. It can, in theory, be stacked. And against Moto Kichi, they are going to deploy targeting beacons. And attacks against you, Kichi, get +1 accuracy until the end of your next turn. And then that is the end of the boarding phase. Boarding has not been kind to you guys.
It's really not. So, well, we don't have critical mass for that. Often like once you can like spam like 3 or 4 borders at something, then it becomes like pretty reliable ways of taking a battle group offline. But we didn't do that.
Yeah, it is unfortunate.
Actually.
We go back over to the top. We are in the logistics phase. So the which player wants to do their logistics?
I would like to do that first because
Go for it.
both of my charge cannons hit 0, and also because they did tick, the lasers pop off. I'll drill one into, I believe it's that
Wow.
did not mean to do that. Scroll the page. I believe the Furies, who are
Yes.
just about to get kicked over by 2, and
Yep.
another 2
That finishes them.
into. I'm gonna tink the Man of War, mostly because maybe that 2 damage will be the difference.
Yep.
All right. Tick the Man of War. I'll scroll up a lot. Yeah, you tick the last Fury's disabled. Its flight decks are inoperable, and its crew cut engines and signal that they're surrendering. The Man of War, your lasers tick it, and it's just that is a massive ship. The Auspice is a monster. It is going to take significantly more than that. Like, that's a pretty small scratch that you inflict. But you've ticked down. Your charged weapons are ready to go. The Man of War is going to tick down, and it is going to mark its impossible power. So it gets its Tyrant Cannon online.
Yeah, here's the thing I was worried about. Yeah,
Yeah.
Godspeed, Shin.
It's fine. This will go great. You'll love it. I promise.
Does anyone else have logistics phase stuff they need to handle? Torpedoes that are out in the air?
Do I have a torpedo about to hit me?
You do have a torpedo about to hit
Okay.
you.
But I still have the interdiction. I still have the 3d6 interdiction.
You
Yep,
should.
you still have your 3d6 introduction.
I'm just gonna charge my weapons.
Yeah.
All right. Are they fully charged
No,
yet?
no.
Or no? Okay. So you fully charge your weapons. Torpedo ticks down. Impact phase.
Firing.
Shin, you want? Okay. What are you targeting with your charge gun?
The Man of War with both of them. I'm going to go ahead and use Super Paragon to get a bonus 3d6 accuracy, which I think stacks with the extreme range accuracy on charge weapons and the accuracy on this gun for 3 is the maximum you can roll with. Yeah.
I think in Lancer it was 5. I should double check if that's changed for Battlegroup.
That's a relevant question.
And the interdiction came from the Nay, correct? Or sorry, the Louis the 14th.
Mhm.
Okay, so I have a total of 4. I'm gonna roll that now because I'm going to need it.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Okay, I think I should be good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, that will be good. So yeah, roll those attacks. Obi.
Yes. How many? How much accuracy is the max?
There is no max, or it's I think 66 on the dice you can roll.
Or for
It's just that you can only get a maximum of +6 from it because you only take the highest one.
sure, yeah.
Yeah.
But also it has a defense of like 4, so you know.
Yeah, it has a defense of 4, so it's not going to be hard.
And really, mostly what I'm doing is fishing for this crit.
All right.
3, 4, 5. Oh come on. But a hit's a hit. 15.
Yeah. 15 on the first. Okay. How about the second?
Which is much less towering. I think it's only net accuracy 2.
Mm-hmm. That's also a hit. How much damage?
Another 15.
All right.
And as a side effect of the weapon, they spectacularly over penetrate.
Ooh.
Penetrate.
Oh, so this is going to the remaining brother in arms takes.
If they're to a different any capital ships or escorts in its battle group take 5 damage from each shot. And if there's no valid target, that 5 doesn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
It just-
That should delete the brothers in arms.
Yeah, so that deletes the brothers in arms, and that means they can't soak some of the damage from those 2 shots. So you fire this double shot of massive charge cannons. Particle lances streak through the air, evaporating the remaining brothers in arms as it tries to throw itself into the way, and gouging giant holes into the man o' war itself. That would be enough to mission kill outright almost
Wait a minute.
any warship in the galaxy.
Wait a minute. I optimized my guns. I have a reroll.
Ooh, do you want to okay, go for the reroll.
Would you accept me
Reroll
rerolling
the
that
first one?
really big fat roll?
Okay, roll it.
Yep. Here.
Alright.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
If I should be able to finish it off.
Ow!
I should be able to finish it off.
No, there is no
Oh,
justice here.
yeah.
But yeah.
This is a volley that would kill almost any warship in Union space. But the Auspice is a monster. You gouge holes into its flanks, you rip guns off of its hull, but it's still trucking. It's still going, and as those shots fade, it fires. It's going to put a Tyrant Cannon shot back into you, Obi.
I
as
understand.
it is not thrilled at your decision.
I understand its objection.
So it gets 1 accuracy because you're at extreme range.
Does it?
But
Is that how?
you're at extreme
Yeah, I
range.
am at
right?
extreme range. That is fact.
13. Does 13 hit you?
13 matches everything. I am going to deploy what's the name of that shield?
Primary plane overlay shield projector or something?
Primary kinetic barrier.
Okay. What does
No,
that do?
that's not it. What the thing does is at range 5, damage reduction of 10.
Okay. So this is 30 incoming damage. You reduce it to 20, hitting your flag.
Wonderful. Now I survive.
All right. It fires a superkinetic penetrator at least 30 meters long through space at C fractional velocities. It smashes into the shields, which critically slow it down enough, and there is an explosion in space as it rips through that forward kinetic barrier, that when it slams into your ship, ripping holes through decks and bulkheads and over-penetrating out the other side, your ship is still alive. It did not fragment enough to mission kill you outright. You are miraculously still alive.
context.
However, unfortunately, now it's
Other gun.
its other spinal particle projector is about to come online. With that in mind, does anyone else have impact phase stuff they needed to do? I believe no one did. Like, everything had fired.
Yep.
Okay. So that went off. Torpedo runs into a wall of flak and interceptors, and those torpedoes are just wiped out by your interception.
Thank you, team. Like, I never believed I'd say this about a warship named after a Frenchman, but thank you.
And with that, we move to action phase. Who would like to go first?
I have.
Please. Okay.
Sorry, I actually had something really important because it might destroy my ship or it might destroy the Auspice.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is it?
So real quick question. You said I have to either take a maneuver or take 2d6 or 1d6 damage to my
1d6 damage. 1d6 damage straight to your ship at the end of your turn. If you don't take that,
Okay.
If you don't burn your maneuver getting rid of these boards.
Okay, I'm gonna actually risk it because I'm gonna do two things. I'm gonna take a mover and a tactic. I'm gonna go all ahead full, and then I'm gonna do emergency maneuvers. So I'm at one range band, and make my SKVs deploy automatically while firing. I believe Circium's primary kinetic batteries.
Okay.
So it's like, are you opening? Are you launching them at close or point blank?
It's zero is 0 point blank.
Zero is point blank.
Zero is point blank.
Oh, good.
So the warning is, if you release them at 1, then there's like they get a turn.
But can I?
If you
'cause
release them,
Oh, no, sorry.
if you release them at 1, they still get a turn. It'll happen at the next impact phase. If you release them at 0, they don't get a turn, but you take half the damage.
Here's the thing, though. I have impact assurance targeting, which does remove 1 flight counter. So if I fire it at 1, it would be one flight counter, and remove that would be 0 and automatically hit. Correct?
I don't believe that's how that works.
But I believe it still hits at the impact phase.
At the
You
impact
check
phase.
flight counters at impact.
Well,
Light charge.
the problem is the SKVs will be targeted soon. So I'm trying to get them out as soon as possible. I also have my outrider my outrider escort, which can protect at least one of them.
If you delay a turn, I can budge you up one more. I can budge you up one more range band.
Okay, so I can take a maneuver to protect myself against the borders, use my emergency maneuver to move 1 forward, and then you can propel me 1 forward, and they'll automatically launch.
They'll launch you if you go 1 forward, no matter what. You're at 2. They'll deploy at 1.
So do you want me to? The question is, do you want me to wait and hold off the missiles and not move at all, or do you want me to move and wait?
So I think Obi is saying if Obi goes before, or Fenris goes before you, Fenris can project you forward, and then if you do your double move, you'll be in range 0, and you can unleash immediately.
Oh, perfect. Yes, I will delay a turn then. Thank you so much, Obi.
That, however, does mean that like Obi has to go first, so the Man of War could activate. The Auspice could activate between Obi and you.
Frankly, I think we've I think we have clearly settled into this extremely bloody artillery duel. It's probably fine.
I think I'd like to see if I can't finish off the Man of War. I think I have that, and maybe use the SKVs on the Phantasm.
Okay.
I think you can make it happen.
Yeah, sure.
So-
Take your shot, man.
So I'm going. So the question is, do I want to screen or not? And I think you know what I think I'm going to I think I am going to lock on to the I am going to lock on to the Man of War. And then I am going to.
You've still got my old lock on. I never used it.
Oh, does the
Yeah, the Auspice has been locked.
okay,
Yeah,
the
I
option is locked on too.
absolutely-
Great. Then I'm going to. I have a maneuver, a special maneuver that I can use only once a game, but make it good. And you see, Salem, battleship shaking. Comment to Raquel. We're in optimum range. Unleash hell. And we are going to fire both super heavies and all primary weapons. We fire everything.
All right.
So we are doing the firing first the spool weapons, and we're going to consume the lock on doing that. The 3x3 black short spool cannons. I also firing an auxiliary weapon because yes. Let me clear that. 1d20, 1d6. Roll that. See if I can't get. So the question is, do I want to re-roll it? Because I have there's a Caspian Sea frigate in the same range band as me, correct?
I believe so. Yeah.
I'm gonna re-roll it. And just okay, that doesn't do anything. But that's going to do. I'm going to do 18 damage. Sorry,
That-
19
That
damage.
is exactly enough.
19 damage.
That is exactly enough. You open fire. What's the description of these weapons?
So these are 3x3 block short spool cannons. Fearsome battery
Oh.
composed of 3 racks of 3 vertically aligned short spool spinal guns. Firing in sequence, in oppositional tempo or all at once, block cannons represent a movement away from massive single-shot spinal guns. Favor later kinetics. This is like Iowa battleship bullshit we're doing here.
Yes. So you fire volleys of just short spool batteries as impactors rip through space, hit slamming into the auspice in giant explosions. You fire volley after volley, and the ship keeps going and going and going until finally you hit a reactor, an explosion rocks it, and it's so big that this is only a mission kill. The fact that you've detonated a fusion reactor inside of this warship has simply stopped it from advancing further. You fire another kinetic, hits its particle cannon, slamming into the rails and destabilizing it, forcing the charge to bleed out of the gun. And finally, the auspice does not signal its surrender until a shot hits the bridge. No one's alive in there, and after a few minutes from a secondary CIC aboard the auspice, someone finally signals its surrender as its guns go dark.
Right. And if we're finishing the battery, the remaining heavy kinetic batteries are going straight into the high line. Rolling 1. Does a 7 help me? I don't think it does.
7 does not hit.
7. So that's 4 damage from the miss. It's reliable damage,
Okay.
and then another 7. So a total of 11 damage into the high line.
All right, 11 damage into the high line. It is down to 9.
Yeah.
Let's see. Is that the end of your turn?
So the last thing is that the superior is going to remain on station. He's going to continue screening the Carson.
All right.
Bring and continue doing doing repairs as it does so, bringing it all the way up to 13 health. So it's nice.
Mm-hmm. Oh, the Phantasm had its charge weapon get ready this turn. I just completely missed
Was
it.
What was it going to shoot at?
It was going to shoot at, let's see. It is range 4 to 1, so it can't shoot at you. I think it was going to go for probably the temple, just because those have been, or or is going to go for Sheamus, so the Typhoon, because those torpedoes have been pretty worrying. Let's see. But
yeah, because if you retroactively blow up my battleship, that'd be a little like paracausal timey-wimey.
Sorry, it's going for Sheamus's flagship because of the torpedoes. Because it did not know you could do that short spool volley until you did it.
Yeah, it's like
Oh, no, sorry, that should have just been 1d20. It does not have accuracy on this. It ignores all difficulty for this. That's fine. There isn't any difficulty relevant to it. Does a 10 hit you?
The telegraph?
Yep.
No, 13 is its defense.
Okay, so reliable 5, so you take 5 damage. As it fires a bomb-pumped laser that detonates and lasers into your ship, scouring across it. It is a less catastrophic. It has to detonate farther than it would prefer, and the laser has to some degree defocused by the time it hits you. 5, just a reliable.
How much health do you have left on your flagship, by the way?
I'm actually sitting a little pretty here. I'm at 14.
Okay.
If I didn't miss any additional damage.
Okay, so I just wanted to make if you were down to low, I'd have thrown some repairs your way, but you're fine.
Yeah.
In that case, I'll keep the same action, screening the Rachel Carson, trying to repair the damage from all that bullshit, and off we go.
All right, and then for the Phantasm's turn proper, who has lock-on tokens on them right now? I've passed out a couple over the last turn.
It's
By the
somewhere
way,
in those
I believe the borders put on some lock-ons on me.
Got
Yeah.
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
they've hit you with it. So it's going to fire the high precision railgun at Motokichi's. It is going to hit your frigate, I think, or no, it's going to hit the Farragut because the Farragut's taken a bit of damage already.
Okay.
So it's got accurate, so it has 2d6 on this. 20. 1, 2. Oh, clear. There we are. And does a 13 hit?
13 is my defense.
Okay,
Just
so you
barely.
take 5 more, it hits you with a railgun, and repositions. So you are pushed 1 range band back away from it. So you are forced back out to range 3, I think.
Okay.
And PC slot.
Didn't someone want to do the boost?
Oh yeah, that's me. I can do that. I am in fact not dead. So I'm going to go ahead and where's that? Do I need to actually move in to make the boost happen? Yes, I do.
Sorry, that attack was on the Farragut, right? Or the frigate.
Yep, that was on the
The
Farragut.
Farragut. Okay.
Yes, I do. So I think it's all ahead full for up 1 and primary.
All right.
Yeah, all ahead full, so I can get in range with the Legion Space Schism targeting. Is that Highline still alive?
Yeah,
That Highline is still alive.
still alive, but not very intact.
Well,
Pretty bad.
maybe I'll be able to tip it off. So let's get dice.
So, probably not, but like you can probably get it down to.
Yeah, it has precisely one of its escorts still alive. So
Yeah, you could also. Wait, does it?
Was it?
yeah, one of the stalwarts got cracked, the other didn't because the fire got redirected to the brothers in arms.
Sorry, continue.
There.
Can we delete the things that are dead?
Let's see. Oh. One moment. I have got the zoom on this set up weirdly. Okay. So that's. Oh no, sorry. The brothers in arms aren't on the High Line. They were on the Phantasm. So
Yeah, that's what I was.
yeah, that's deleted. That's
Are there more brothers in arms?
yeah. Delete that. Delete that. Okay. So yeah, dead stuff has been deleted. Oh, with that exception, dead stuff has been deleted. You got the stalwart on the Phantasm, and you have the High Line on its own and down.
Doesn't look like anything's changed.
Oh, is that just on my end? What?
Let me try refreshing it.
Oh, let me. There we go. Okay, I just need to go hit the button again manually. 1 moment.
Okay.
Sure.
That's assuming a 13 hits. Now is the
13 hit.
Now is the time for that's 3 damage, and now is the time for somebody to budge forward.
I will punch forward to 2. If that's all right.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. All right. So that's 3 damage, and you punch forward. All right. Anything else with your turn?
That was 1 tech. Tick. No, that was a maneuver. I've got attack. Go ahead. Can I move my little repair frigate to screen for my flagship?
Yep.
Can I do that as a tactic?
Yep, that's a tactic.
Okay,
And
fantastic.
your ship is a Caspian Sea or something?
Let me see. What's it got on there?
Oh, you usually have the Crichtons, I think.
I think it's a superior hazard. No, not the superior. It's something. I know it's on here.
Superior class. Okay, yeah. Yeah, so that'll provide some repairs.
Yeah, that's it.
2 repairs.
All right.
Yeah, which is better than 8.
All right. So that is the end of your turn.
Yes.
Cool. So the high line. It is going to, let's see. What range are you at current, or no, wait, it's still got the bonus
Oh,
for,
let me move that.
yeah, it's going to put Cloud Kill batteries onto Motokichi the Farragut again. It's going to try and take that, or,
Okay.
yeah, it's going to try and take down
Makes
the
sense.
Farragut, because that's got the escorts and wings. So. Clear, d20, 1d6, roll. 15 hits.
15
So the
hits.
Farragut itself takes 7 damage, and each of its escorts and wings, which I think is just the chassis, take 2.
Okay. 7 damage. Not
Mhm.
looking good.
Ooh, how bad off is it?
I have 4 HP left on the.
Got it. So it bombards you, and it's going pretty poorly for you. Who would like to go next? All right.
So go ahead.
Sorry, I just didn't see that somebody volunteered.
Oh, it's Anthony. Yeah.
Please continue.
Seamus Beckett.
Okay, just need to know if I need to. Yeah. Okay. So, Seamus goes on to overcome while the boarders are still fighting all the crewmen aboard the Telegraph as the charges are being placed, and say, "Sorry for you lads. We will be the king of this particular hill. Evasive maneuvers, emergency maneuvers, all fall ahead, and we'll take the damage from the boarders, moving 2 bridge bands in to point blank range. Fire the twins!
So at the end of your turn, you will be taking 6 damage from the boarders.
Enough. That's 6 damage.
Why have all the screens Sorry, something's up with OBS. I'm just trying to figure it out.
Okay,
Keep going.
cool. All right. I'll full ahead emergency maneuvers. The next thing I'll do is at the Phantasm. What's the House of Phantasm looking right now?
Untouched. We
The
haven't shot it.
Phantasm is untouched.
Yeah, we haven't shot it at all.
Okay, so yeah, then I will absolutely deploy. Let's see, long flight active control, which will be at 0. Will be 1d6 plus 8.
Oh boy, that's. Are you sure you want to fire that at 0?
Well, I mean, I need to check my. If that's the case, then this would be then my twins will be in a. This might be a suicide run, guys. I'm not gonna lie. Shit.
Yeah, you should fire at 0. Like that might not. You'll take half the damage yourself.
They
get an interdiction, but
so all right. So then I'll just do the primary connect batteries then. Primary connect batteries roll to attack onto the Phantasm, and then afterwards it'll be the Okay, so that doesn't do it.
remember taking accuracy. You're at point blank range.
Oh, yes, I am.
Yep.
All right, so 6 plus.
Although Phantasm probably can't actually hit it.
Does a 12 hit?
No, the Phantasm has a pretty high evade.